welcome back to my channel. Now today I don't have a book review for you today. I don't have an unboxing. I actually have an unhaul for you. I don't do these very often. I tend to do one maybe every 2 or 3 years. I can't remember if I already have an unhaul video up on my channel or if this is the first one, but today I have several books that I'm going to be getting rid of. They're going to either Goodwill or Helping Hands, which is a nonprofit organization we have here, and it's kind of like a thrift store type place. And so it's separated into 2 piles. I have books I've read and books I haven't read. So yeah, we're just gonna do this. I might explain like why I didn't like it, or direct you to a review that I've done on it, or just explain like why I bought it in the first place. So yeah, let's just get started, shall we? The first book that I'm getting rid of is Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. This is another Alice in Wonderland retelling. I have quite a few on my shelf, but I read this one. I don't think I've reviewed it on my channel. I will have to check. But I liked it, but I'm not really interested in continuing. I read this like 4 years ago or something. I think it was still when I had my office job. And I'm just like, I don't foresee myself getting to the sequels anytime soon. So yeah, this one is going goodbye. And then I have a book that I have actually reviewed on my channel, and that is The House with a Clock in Its Walls by John Bellaris. I really liked the movie that I saw, so I wanted to read the book before I saw it, but I don't foresee myself really rereading it or coming back to it. And so yeah. The next book that I'm getting rid of is Alice by Heart by Stephen Sater. I have reviewed this on my channel. This is a novelization of a musical by the same name. I don't believe it ever got a Broadway transfer. I believe it was only on the West End. And I have watched like 3/4 of the bootleg that's on YouTube, and I didn't really care for it. I don't really care for the music that much. If you're wondering why I picked it up in the first place, Stephen Sater also wrote the music for American Psycho, which is one of my favorite musicals. And yes, it's based on the book American Psycho and the movie with Christian Bale. So that's why I picked it up in the first place, because I thought it was interesting. And I was just like, I didn't understand what the hell was going on. So yeah, I'm going to leave my review either for you in a card or in the description box below, so you can go check it out and get more of my thoughts on it. The next book is, it's kind of hard for me to get rid of, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that is Hocus Pocus, and it's all new sequel. The first half of this book is a novelization of Hocus Pocus, which is like one of my favorite nostalgic childhood movies. I can quote it. My mother can quote it. We love watching it. Whenever ABC Family has their like 31 Nights of Halloween, if I'm at my parents' house and it's like a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday and it's on, we are watching it because I love it that much. I didn't care for the sequel. So I know that Hocus Pocus is getting like an actual like live action sequel. I believe it's gonna premiere on Disney Plus, but I'm not quite sure. But I'm really hoping that they don't take the story from this. I hope it's a completely new one, because I don't think I'm gonna like it that much. If you want to know why, I have also reviewed this on my channel, and you can go check that out. This next one was one of the first books that I think I read when I was like getting into BookTube, which was back when I was in college, like 5 or 6 years ago. God, has it really been that long? Apparently it has. I never reviewed it on my channel. I reviewed it back in the day. I had a YouTube channel before this one, and I deleted it, and I deleted all the videos. I don't have copies of them. They're completely gone. But it is The Sherlockian by Graham Moore. This one is kind of weird. It has two timelines that we're following. One is Arthur Conan Doyle and his friend Bram Stoker are talking about a Sherlock story, or they're like trying to solve a mystery, kind of like Arthur Conan Doyle's character Sherlock. And then we are also following a club, I believe, called the Sherlockians, that are kind of like obsessed with the stories and stuff. And I don't remember what happens in that timeline because it's been forever since I've read this. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't really read a lot of like adult historical fiction, which is kind of like what this is. And yeah, it's been sitting on my shelf, and I'm like, in the words of Marie Kondo, this does not spark joy, so it's going away. This next one is a book that I have reviewed on my channel, and that is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I liked this book. Like, I like the whole body horror and stuff like that, because I'm like really into like Saw and Hostel and like anything that has like body horror in it, like monster movies and stuff like that. But I hated the ending, which is what ruined the book for me. I'm one of those people who, if you don't stick the landing, I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate the book, and I'm gonna have nothing but animosity towards it because it was not a satisfying ending, in my opinion. So I have reviewed this on my channel, and you can go check that review out. I believe I have reviewed this one on my channel, but I am not completely sure. And that is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Again, this is another one where it didn't really stick the landing for me, and I hated the ending. And like, I knew obviously that they both died at the end, but it wasn't as dramatic. At one point I was like, they could end the book here and I would love it, and then nothing came from that situation, and then it just kind of ended. So I was like, okay, I hate the ending. It's so lackluster and everything, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm gonna get rid of this book. This next one is one that I actually got from a Goodreads giveaway, so I'm not really sure what I'm actually gonna do with it. But that is 10 Things I Hate About Pinky by Sonja Menon. This is third, I believe, or the fourth? The fourth. No, the third. I can't keep up. The third book in the When Dimple Met Rishi series, and I really did like it, but contemporary is not really my thing anymore. I was kind of into it for a while, and I still have some contemporary books that I'm going to keep that I'm like very attached to, and I loved the story, or I read them at a time where I really needed it. So I'm just going to get rid of this one. And in the same vein of this one, I'm also getting rid of There's Something About Sweetie and When Dimple Met Rishi. So I'm getting rid of the whole series. And I don't know, like, I did enjoy them, and they're fun, and a lot of the characters are like geeky and nerdy, so there's a lot of things that I can relate to and stuff, but contemporary is not really my thing anymore, so that's why those are leaving. And another book by Sonja Menon that I'm getting rid of is From Twinkle with Love. I feel kind of bad about this one because this one was an OwlCrate exclusive that I have reviewed on my channel. I think I've also reviewed all of the When Dimple Met Rishi books, but don't quote me on that. I'm not quite sure if I have or not, but I know that I've reviewed this one, and it was when I was going through kind of like a dark phase. So in that video, I have like black lipstick on and like a black and white checkered flannel with like studs in the top. So it's kind of from like a different point in my life, which I think is probably why I'm getting rid of this. But yeah, it's super pretty, and I'm gonna leave the Dear Reader letter in there just for someone to, you know, have a nice little surprise when they open the book. So yeah, I'm getting rid of From Twinkle with Love. This next one I never reviewed on my channel because I didn't feel like I had enough to talk about, and that was Witchy by Ariel Slumet Rise. I cannot pronounce the last name. This was also an OwlCrate exclusive, so I feel kind of bad about getting rid of it, but I didn't care that much for the story, and I was like, I don't really understand this, and I'm not interested in continuing because there are more volumes. I believe that this is only like volume 1. Yeah, it's volume 1. And this is kind of like what the art style looks like. So it's not really my style of like graphic novel or comic book. My style is more what you see in the Harley Quinn comics, so more like sort of realistic but also cartoonish at the same time. It's kind of hard to describe unless you've like read one of the Harley Quinn comics from like the New 52 or before the New 52. I'm not a fan of Paul Dini's style. The one I read right now is, I think it's Amanda Connor is her style, and I love it. But yeah, I just didn't care for the story, which made me really sad because, you know, as a witch, I like to read different people's takes on witches and stuff like that, and I just didn't connect with this at all, so it's leaving. This next one is probably gonna get me like a lot of flack on BookTube, but I thought I got rid of this in the last unhaul that I did, and that is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I feel like this is self-explanatory. I don't need to tell you why I hated this book. It's kids with cancer, and then one of them dies, and then in the end, you don't know if the other one dies, so I feel like I don't need to explain this. If you've been on BookTube, like, you know what The Fault in Our Stars is, or if you're like a mainstream person, hi, and you've seen the movie, then you know. So I thought I got rid of this a long time ago, but apparently I didn't. I don't know why I was still holding on to it. This one is a nonfiction book, which I feel like I should have read it, but then I don't really care to read it anymore. And that is The Other Tutors. Henry VIII's Mistresses and Bastards by Philippa Jones. If you're new to my channel, I'm really interested in Tudor history and European history and like British culture and stuff like that. So Henry VIII is one of the monarchs that fascinates me the most, along with Elizabeth I, which were also in the same Tudor dynasty and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know why I never read this. I just didn't. And I'm like, it's kind of lengthy and it's very dense, and I kind of just don't care to read it anymore. So that's why this one's going away. And then this other one is Death Comes to Pemberley by P.D. James. This is the TV show tie-in cover because they did a miniseries on PBS. And it's basically a continuation of Pride and Prejudice, where Elizabeth and Darcy are now married and they have a family and everything, and I guess people come to visit, and then someone dies, and then it's like a mystery type thing. I don't really know. I don't know much about it. I think I only bought it because it was a continuation of Pride and Prejudice, which is one of my favorite classics. Never read it. I watched the A&E miniseries with Colin Firth, who was my Darcy. I love Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy. I'm not a fan of Keira Knightley and I can't remember the guy who plays Darcy. He plays this guy on Spooks, which is a British TV show. So yeah. Now we're going to get into the books that either I've partially read and don't want to continue reading, or ones that I've never read before. And the first one is Horns by Joe Hill. I have had this on my October TBR forever, and I really only bought it because this is the movie tie-in version, and I was gonna go see it because it had Daniel Radcliffe in it, and I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so I like to keep up with the actors' careers and like see things that they're in. And so I thought I wanted to see this, and I could just go watch it on, I think it's on Netflix right now. It's either on Netflix or Prime Video. I can't remember. But I could just watch it And the funny thing about Joe Hill is that he is Stephen King's son, which I think is really cool. They've written a couple books together. But yeah, it's like really thick. And I'm just like, I could just go watch the movie. So I don't really want to read the book, which is odd because I'm usually a person that if it's based on a book, I want to get that book and read it. And so, yeah. And then I have the next book I'm getting rid of is Supernatural, Nevermore by Keith R.A.D. Candido. These are based on the CW show, obviously. And these are kind of like snapshots into Sam and Dean's life between the episodes that we see. And this one, I believe, people are being killed in the same way that people are killed in Edgar Allan Poe stories and poems and stuff like that, which was really interesting to me. But, you know, it's been done. It's been done a bunch of times. I mean, there's a movie called The Raven, which I love. I love the movie The Raven. So good. So yeah, I'm like, it's been done in TV, it's been done in movies, and I'm just like not interested in reading something that's kind of along the same vein. This next one, I feel like it's been a long time coming, and that is Clockwork Angel, and I believe Clockwork Prince is on the bottom of this pile, but obviously this is by Cassandra Clare. I started reading Cassandra Clare like right before the first City of Bones movie came out with Lily Collins and Jamie Campbell Bower, and I kind of got into the Mortal Instruments, and I think I only picked this up because it like was coming out and it was like a popular thing, because by the time I got to these books, I believe the Mortal Instruments was already completed, or City of Heavenly Fire had just come out, which was the last book. And so I started reading them, and then I grabbed this one because it was really popular at the time, and I have tried so many times to like read this, and I just don't care anymore. I think that I missed it. Like, I missed the whole era when these books were a thing, and I came in too late, and my reading tastes are so much more different. Because I believe most of these were published like in the 2010s, I believe. I don't really remember. It's been a while. So yeah, I think I just missed it. Kind of like with Percy Jackson was never a thing with me because I didn't know that they existed, and then by the time I got on BookTube, like there were so many other amazing books coming out, and I feel like that era is just over. So I still do own the Magnus Bane Chronicles. That's because I really like Magnus Bane, and I feel like you could listen to those stories and some of the other like there's Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, which is another thing of short stories that I feel like you could read without like having full knowledge of the whole series. And then there's another one that just came out, which is Ghosts of the Shadow Market, which is another series of short stories and like little snapshots. So I think I might just stick to the short story anthologies and stuff like that, because I cannot. No one has time to dedicate themselves to like a 600-page book, or at least I don't have time for that. So yeah. This next one, I feel like I nearly finished and then I just gave up, and that is Darkly Dreaming Dexter by Jeff Lindsay. I picked this up because I'm a huge fan of the TV show. Not a fan of the ending, which not a lot of people are a fan of the ending, but these are the books that the TV show is loosely based off of. I believe in the end of this book, like in the TV show, spoiler alert if you don't know, the serial killer in this book ends up being Dexter's brother, and in the TV show he ends up killing him, but in the books he doesn't kill him. Dexter ends up marrying his longtime girlfriend. I believe her name is Lisa again, or Laura again. It's been a while since I've seen the TV show, and it's not on Netflix anymore, so I can't go back and watch it and confirm what her name is, and I don't care enough to look it up. So He ends up marrying her. I don't believe she ends up dying. Again, I could be wrong. I never continued in the book series. But he teaches his girlfriend's daughter and son like how to be serial killers. So it was, the TV show went in a completely different direction. So I'm just like, I just don't want to continue the book series because I've seen the TV show. I prefer the TV show. It was really good. Last season sucked, but who's surprised? And then these next three are also a series. Well, the first, I think this is book 2, 3, and 4 in a series, and that is The White Queen, The Red Queen, and The Kingmaker's Daughter. These 3 books are what the White Queen, is it Stars? I believe it's Stars. Yes. The Stars TV show is based off of, which I love. And again, I was like, I love this TV show, so I'm going to read the books. But I'm not this book series has so many books in it. And I'm just like, I cannot commit myself to like a 6 or 7 book series. So I was like, I'm just gonna watch the TV show. And there's also The White Princess, which is also based on Philippa Gregory novels. And then there's The Spanish Princess, which is also based on Philippa Gregory's novels. She's kind of known for like writing about the Tudor era and stuff like that. So yeah, these are really pretty, and I really wish I was interested in them, but I'm not anymore, so they're leaving this house. And then, of course, I said Clockwork Prince. It was on the bottom. Another thing about the Cassandra Clare books is I feel like I don't really need to read them because I've been spoiled for so much stuff that I kind of have a good grasp on the series anyway, so I don't feel like I need to read it. And then this last one I never read, and that is 3 Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I've heard very mixed reviews about this book because it's marketed as like 3 queens have to go up against each other and like battle to the death to, I guess, figure out who's gonna rule. And then people who read it and reviewed it said that's not really what the book is really about. So I feel like maybe it was mismarketed, but I don't know because I haven't read it. But I'm just like, I read a lot of books about royals anyway, and there's actually a couple up there on that shelf that are royal themed. And so I'm just like, I don't really want to read this anymore. Plus I only bought it because it was like being hyped on BookTube, and now everybody's like kind of like this series isn't really that good. So I'm just like, I have other books that I really want to read, so I'm getting rid of this one. So yeah, that's all the books I'm getting rid of. I think I counted the other day, and I think there's like 26 or something. I try to do this every 2 or 3 years because obviously I'm subscribed to Owlcrate, and I order a lot of their exclusive like signed editions and stuff like that are separate from the subscription box. And so I accumulate a lot of books, and sometimes I'll just look at my shelf and be like, why do I still own that book? I'm never going to read it. I'm not interested anymore. My reading taste has changed. So yeah, that's all the books I'm getting rid of, and I guess I will see you guys later. Bye!